What up, what up? This is Adam and Carl from Thoughts in Motion, and today I'm going to ask you, how long have you really got left? I did another video on this earlier in the year, and it's a topic that keeps coming back around again and again and again. And one thing me and Carl like to talk about is what would we leave behind if we died?
Yeah.
What have we actually accomplished in the last, say, 90 days? If we died tomorrow, what would we have accomplished? What do we leave behind? What's our legacy? See, not many people really think of the legacy anymore. Legacy is kind of like an old thing, like kings and queens would leave behind a legacy, right? But now, what does the average person leave behind as a legacy? They might leave behind like a child who might do well. Yeah. Like that's like the average thing, is like a child that might do well. Like there's not
child, a house.
Yeah, a child, a house.
Possessions, like, mainly a lot of the time.
Very materialistic shit. That's not like a legacy. That's shit that they've just dumped left without a choice.
It's like they've had it, they've used it, and they're off.
Nothing that they've actually gained and worked for. So like, what would your legacy be if you died? Just have a think about that while we're talking. Just what would your legacy be if you died tomorrow? What have you actually accomplished? What have you went out and done for you?
Now, legacy might not be so important to certain individuals, certain people. I appreciate that as well, but I do think it's probably one of, if not the most important things about life in general, and something that everyone should consider at some point or another. For me personally, I kind of, it's massively important for me. Pretty much everything that I do, every decision that I make is kind of influenced upon kind of my legacy and what I'm going to leave behind and things like that, which a lot of people kind of like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter because you're going to be dead anyways. But
that's
to me,
a morbid thought. I hear that. Like, you're going to be dead anyway. What's the point in doing anything? No, that's the point of life, is to do stuff. Like, don't see it as like this, oh, we've only got one life, let's just waste it doing absolutely fuck all. No, like, you make the most of it.
For me personally, I always had this thing from a very young age. I didn't want to be another statistic. I didn't want to be like another number. I didn't want to be just another human on this earth with no purpose and no reason for being here. We've talked about this loads before, like purpose and reason for being here and things like that, and finding that purpose. Purpose and legacy for me tie in, because when you discover your purpose, you will spend your life doing that purpose, which will leave behind the legacy that you have or want to create. And for me, this is something that I think about a lot. There's been times, I'll be completely honest with you and the camera, and we've talked about it before.
Honesty coming right up.
There's been times where I kind of actually think about my own funeral, and I think about how many people that would actually care. I think about what would actually be said about me, like, oh, this is Carl, he was this age, he did this, he did that. And those are the things that really actually motivate me. Those are the things that give me the strength to continue to have my purpose and to enjoy my purpose and to live my purpose. Is to think about those moments. And it's also thinking about almost family members' funerals. I do this a lot as well. It puts things into perspective, but it also helps you think about legacy. And I think about, say for example, someone that you really love, so you might be really close to your parents, your mom or your dad or whatever. I know that I am personally. And those times, if you think about like those times, maybe when your mom or dad isn't going to be there anymore. And I always think about the speech or what I'm going to do at their funeral. And for me personally, being a musician, say it was my dad, I would like to play a gig or a song or something dedicated to him, a tribute to his life. And that again, for me, it confirms my purpose, because I know how proud of me he is and how much he would appreciate that, even if he's not with me anymore. And that kind of gives me like a fulfillment, a sense of kind of like real, true purpose.
Say that you shouldn't care what people think, but what would your eulogy be? Like, what would people say at your funeral? Like, would they say like, oh, Adam was okay. Yeah. He did a few things. He got himself a job. Like, good for him. He got a job. He kind of had friends. Like, he kind of did this weird YouTube thing.
What does he have to show for it?
Exactly. Like, what do we have to show? Like, you don't know how you're gonna die. We could go out here and just get hit by a fucking bus, right?
At the end of the day, it could be. You know, again, you never know what's gonna happen. As morbid if that is, but it could be you die tomorrow, and that you actually, if you think about this, you'll realize how much you do or don't have to show for that. So for me personally, it could be, oh, Carl Stacey died 22 years of age, musician from this band, that band, And then that would further talk about kind of what we've achieved. So these videos, for example, my videos, the albums that I've released, the songs that I've released, the students that I've taught, the effect that I've had on other people's lives. Again, that's something that's really important to me, kind of me fulfilling my purpose and me also affecting other people's lives, whether it be through these videos or through a one-to-one tuition video or something along those lines.
These guys are going to come and join in a minute. Like,
yeah.
Sure,
but again, talking about the eulogy thing, so people like kind of talking about what you had to show for your life, what you did, what you achieved, and to be proud of that moment. And that's a lot of the motivation for me comes from that place, basically.
What would you say at my funeral? What would you say at my funeral?
You were a nice ginger.
You were a nice balding ginger. You had a nice hairline, Adam. Like, fucking thanks, mate. No, but seriously, like, what would you say at like what would you say at my funeral if you could? What would you say?
I would say that you were a good friend, more than a good friend actually.
Aww.
Someone that kind of cares about other people a hell of a lot, because you care about me a hell of a lot. Someone, there's people everywhere, it's all good.
He's going to join in a minute, kicking football at camera.
There's a little kid wanting to come join in.
That's fine, you can do. But yeah, like, would you say like, I don't know what I'd say yours. I think I'd say something like, Carl was always inspiring me, and he managed to, I just slipped in. He managed to do a lot in his time.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that you put albums out there already.
Yeah.
Like, you're 22 years old. How many albums you got out?
2.
Yeah, to have like 2 albums out at 22 years old, it's nuts, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm obviously writing that book at the minute, you're writing a book as well. Like, if we publish those, that's like one more thing under the belt. Like, it's all these little things that'll build up, like, that you do, like...
It's like a portfolio of your life.
Yeah, if you think about, like, what actually people do, like, no one's going to be remembered for their Instagram.
Yeah.
No one's going to, apart from fucking Ty Lopez, maybe. Like, no one's going to be remembered for their Instagram or that one cool thing that they did and posted on Facebook. They're going to be remembered for, mainly, the value that they brought to other people's lives.
Exactly.
I think that's the next thing I want to go into, actually, is the value that you can give to others is the most important thing in existence. Like, no one was ever remembered for being, like, I'm fucking slipping like this. No one was ever remembered for just being a selfish bastard. No one was ever remembered for that.
Or not doing anything.
Yeah, you have to, it's the value you can give to other people that makes your life worth living. Like, to give value to these videos, to give a message that people can put into their day-to-day life. People come back to me now and they say, you know what, your videos really help. Like, the stuff that you post really helps me. It makes me think in a different way. That's us giving value to other people, and that it makes me feel like I'm actually doing a living a worthwhile life. You know, it's the same with you teaching guitar to kids. Like, you never know if you could be teaching the next Van Halen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're affecting people's lives more than you think, and they will remember that. They'll remember you for that. For me personally, say if you died tomorrow. Don't hurt my car, mate. I would say that I would remember you for being that really great friend that was always there, was always caring, always wanted to help me, always wanted to help other people, always wanted to bring value to other people through these videos or just in person, and always kind of being motivated and wanting to do something with their life. Kind of your ambition and your passion is what I would remember you for. And I know that ambition and that passion is something that other people would see as well, whether it be people watching these videos or the people that you talk about that come to you for help. They value you in one way or another. And to me, that would mean something. To other people, that means something. And that's basically like you living your life for that purpose. So at your funeral, people are going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about the other things that happened or this or that. They're going to talk the general, oh, you were a great person, blah, blah, blah. They're going to talk about what you did, what you achieved, the value that you brought, and how it affected everyone, whether it be family or friends.
It's the effect you have on the world that matters the most. Like, if you're doing shit just for you, you're not going to get very far, because everyone lives on the same planet, right? This is very like David Attenborough shit. Everyone lives on the same planet. Like, everyone lives on the same planet. And like, if you can bring value to everyone on the planet, like not everyone on the planet, but like if you can bring value to like a few people, if you can change people's lives, you're miles ahead of the average person, the average Joe, or whatever you want to call them.
Bear in mind, when we say change people's lives, we don't mean loads of people, like 100 people, 50 people, whatever.
We're not Tony Robbins kind of.
I'm talking about even if it was a handful of people. For us personally doing these videos, even if a handful of people listen, take the advice and run with it, that means the world to us, and that's the reason we do this. It's the same for me, being a musician, teaching people, playing gigs. If my music affects someone in a positive way, if my lesson affects someone in a positive way, I've done my job, I'm living my purpose, I'm going to be remembered for that, and that is everything to me at the end of the day.
So it's like, are you doing anything that really, you know, changes people? Are you doing something that helps people? Are you doing something that betters the world around you? Are you doing things that really have an impact on the world? Are you actually caring about other people, or are you just taking and taking and taking? Because life isn't about taking and taking and taking, it's about giving, solely just giving. And when you give, whatever you give, you get back. Yeah. It's like a karma thing. Whatever you give, you get back. If you give out kindness, you get it back.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know anyone that has a bad word to say about Gandhi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Gandhi just gave and gave and gave and gave and gave.
He never took.
He took. Like, the guy lived in sandals, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really argue with that. But Gandhi just gave and gave and gave, and he got so much back.
Think about his legacy as well.
You know, Gandhi's legacy, there's not, like, my brother at 6 years old knew about Gandhi. He knew everything about him. You get taught him in school at such a young age because he just gave.
If you think about it, again, it's those figures in history. Say you're at school, or you're learning history, or you're doing music or something, and you talk about these historical figures, whether that be someone like Elvis, Bob Marley, Gandhi, Buddha, someone along those lines, or even the kings and the queens or something like that. They did something, they had something to offer, they left behind a legacy which is still talked to this day. And I'm not saying that everyone should do that, we're not going to be like that, I'm not going to be talked about in 100 years time. I mean, it would be good if I could, but it's probably not going to happen.
I want to be talked about in 100 years.
But to me personally, it's all about, when it's all over, when it's all done, if those people that I affected, my friends, family, and surrounding people and acquaintances and things like that, care about what I did, acknowledge what I did, talk about what I did, and appreciated what I did, that's all I could ever ask for, and that's the reason that I'm here doing what I'm doing today.
Same, bro. Bush. We have been Thoughts in We have been Thoughts in Motion. I've just really hurt my ankle. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.